Today we are joined by two amazing guests. They're from the band Escape the Fate. They will be here in Charlotte on April 26th. They're playing a tour with Lacuna Coil. So they will be here at the Underground here in Charlotte, totally rocking our heads off all night on that night on April 26th. So we have Craig Mabbitt and Robert from Escape the Fate joining us. How are you guys doing today?
We're
Hey,
good. Can I bring you everywhere to introduce us like that?
Sure thing. I mean,
Time I walk in the room. I have the amazing Robert Ortiz here joining. Yeah, want to hire you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, both of you guys are in a band that just done so much over the years. You guys are one of the more renowned bands in the metalcore and the emo genre. I mean, for about 20 years now, you guys have been rocking it. And you're still going strong. You guys are coming here April 26th. You're on tour right now. I believe I was told you're in Boise today.
yeah, we're on
Um,
Boise today.
the tour just kicked off a few days ago. What are the vibes like so far on the tour so far?
Been pretty good so far. Has it only been a few days?
It's been a little over a week.
Feels like a month.
Yeah, we've been out for a bit. But honestly, this tour was a little bit different for us. Like the way you just described our band, sort of the emo, metalcore, all this stuff that didn't really exist at the time when we were starting. It just sort of got named that as we went along. And Lacuna Coil isn't really from that scene and that genre. They're not a band that you'd see like on Warped Tour back in the day, or even the new modern version of Warped Tour. So for us, it's a little bit of outside of our comfort zone and that kind of thing. So we look at it as an opportunity to kind of just start back from the ground up in front of a new audience. So we're playing actually a lot of new songs to an audience that doesn't know the difference because they don't really know us that well. So we're looking at it as more like this reintroduction of the band where we're more like a metal band. It's a very intense, energetic show that like my friend described it last night as athletic because it's just like it's so intense the whole time. And it's been pretty awesome. And we see the crowd kind of starting out as like, oh, these guys sound pretty good. I don't really know them. And by the end of it, they're like, there's mosh pits. It's madness. And we do have our fans there. They get excited to hear the songs they know. But overall, it's been really great. And Lacuna Coil are super nice people.
Awesome. And I think that's a really interesting point you bring up because in the last like decade of touring, or maybe even just the last 5 years, I've noticed that a lot of bands who you wouldn't expect to be together are touring together and are finding a lot of success. And it reminds me a little bit of I'm a 28-year-old boomer, so this is the type of music I like. But Metallica and Guns N' Roses in the early '90s toured together, and that was
That's the
like,
soundtrack
what,
of my life.
what are they doing? But at the end of the day, all of the people at these shows, whether you like Lacuna Coil or you like Escape the Fate, you like heavy music, right? And that's what's bringing people here. So I'm glad that your fans and their fans are getting along and jamming out all night to both types. Even if it's not the exact same type of music, it's still it's loud music, it's guitars, it's fast, right? So that's
Well,
what
what
it's
you're
all
hitting
about.
on is just kind of really a sort of a description of the way, especially younger audiences, and they just look at rock as this one giant genre. So, like my kids who are 9, everything is emo to them. As long as it has rock guitars, it's emo. It doesn't matter if it's like Limp Bizkit or My Chemical Romance or Metallica. They're emo. That's the way they perceive things. So I think there's just been the last 20 years of, as technology takes over more and there's more digital things, there's EDM, there's K-pop. Rock music is like its own thing. And I think people have a craving now for live music and instruments played by humans with singers and, less digital. And then you still have the digital influence to that music as well. So I think people are learning to appreciate a lot more than they used to, where it's like, look at your shirt and your poster in the back. It's Iron Maiden. Back when we were growing up, if you like metal, rap sucked, country sucked. Screw them. Now it's like you have access to all of it, so you can be a fan of all of it. So that's kind of what we're finding, and fans are liking us. The divide between us and Lacuna Coil used to be like this. Now it's like we're actually really similar comparatively.
Yeah, it's a renaissance. It's a time for joining together and liking all this new music. And speaking of new music, you guys did just drop a single recently, Deja Vu. What are your feelings on that, and what's the vibe been so far? Have you guys playing that on tour now that you've played it a couple times?
Well, the vibe's been great, and we've been talking amongst ourselves how, any band you start asking them about their new stuff, and it's the best stuff they've ever done. Because anytime you're working on something new, it's going to be your new favorite. Uh, but we really wanted to show that for this tour. We're playing four brand new songs that nobody's ever heard before, and we're having a lot of fun with it. We've done singles in the past where we get together for rehearsal, and we're like, the vibe just it's not feeling right as you're playing through the song. Sometimes the crowd reaction can make the song feel better. This time around, we got together in the rehearsal spot first day, and we were really excited about playing it. And then getting out on the tour and seeing the crowd's reaction to songs they have never heard before just solidified our excitement even more so. So we just love all the new stuff. We're very excited to be playing it on the tour. The crowd reaction has been great. The Deja Vu reaction has been great. So like Robert was touching on a little earlier, we just feel rejuvenated, like we're a brand new band, just coming out here and proving ourselves, which is pretty refreshing to feel that after 20 years.
Mhm.
Cool. And I know most bands aren't just churning out new songs for fun. Do you have any a new album in the coming out soon in the works? When can fans expect that some of those songs to be on a record?
New album's done. It's turned in. We're all very excited about it, but right now we're just playing the waiting game on the people to tell us when it's going to be released. Like, hey, when's the next single coming? Hey, what's the plan? What's the schedule? When's the album coming? So any fan's guess is as good as ours at this point.
So it's like, the boring part of what happens in the industry is like you got to promote the music a certain way. And so you rely on labels and you kind of have your instinctual, like, we should do this on how to get the attention to these new songs. And you just drop it. It might make a huge splash, or it might make this splash and then just it's gone and people kind of forget about an entire album in a week. So you kind of lay it out so it builds a momentum for its release. But like Craig said, we don't really know. The label's kind of like just not really letting us know what exactly like a affirmative date for it. But hopefully soon. We're excited. Like we could just drop it all right now. We're stoked on everything. Like I've never been this excited about any of our albums. So I'm like, dude, I want to play this. I want people to hear this. I think they'll like it, And
Well, that shows in the fact that we're playing four unreleased. I guess one of them is released now, Deja Vu, but it's half of our set is stuff nobody has heard before because we're just so amped up about it. So we just create the music and we have fun playing it, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we'll continue to do while we're out here on tour with Lacuna Coil. And when we get those dates and we're able to post about it, we will do so. In the meantime, we're just going to be rocking it.
Awesome. You got to get through that red tape a little bit. That is
Mhm.
so rock and roll to talk about, right? The lawyers and the labels and all that. I'm kind of curious. You mentioned that part of it. You did drop the single Deja Vu. Is that a band decision? Is that a label decision? How do you guys kind of decide which of the your songs is going to be the
Oh my
single?
gosh. It was a long, drawn out, really fun, exciting argument to have. Like I'm not being sarcastic
I know,
though,
I know.
because we fight over like, oh, that song sucks, dude. Like I don't even know why it's on the album. And of course the label's like, dude, that's your single. And we're gonna put everything behind that one. And then it's like, well, I like this song, I hate this song. Why like what we usually argue this time? We're like, we kind of like everything. So let's bring as many ears to this process as possible and get everyone else's kind of consensus on what they like. And what we found is there is no consensus. Everyone kind of likes a little bit of everything. Some people like certain things more, some people like other things more. And so, we just kind of, when the label came in and said, we think these three songs, they took it to like Spotify and all that stuff and said, what do you guys think too? And they're like, well, we think these three songs and then this fourth one and this and this. And you kind of just like, you just got to take a gamble at some point when there's nothing that's obvious that's like, this is clearly better than all the other songs. then you just kind of got to just gamble with it and say, maybe people will like this one. We think there's a bigger one down the road that there is one consensus song, I should say, that seems to be one that everyone likes that we haven't released yet. But we're kind of building towards that one. So right now we're just gambling on everything. Like what are people gonna like? You don't know. You genuinely don't know.
Yeah, if we knew the secret formula, we'd be one of the biggest bands in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But over the course of almost 20 years, you just sometimes take a step back and you're like, hey, I think we forgot who we're making music for, and that's ourselves. You know, you get together in a garage and you write songs with your friends, and sometimes it connects, and you go out there and you start this career, but then you start working on the next record, and now you have more opinions. Hey, what songs reacted the best from that first album? Maybe we should lean in that direction. Maybe we should lean in this direction. You got producers and label owners and all these people. And this time around, it's just like, nah, let's just get together and write what we like again. And so it's been a great process. I've enjoyed it. And that's why when it comes to questions that we don't have the answers to, like when's the next song coming out? When is the album dropping? We're currently just having fun playing the new music and being out on the road. And we couldn't ask for anything more than that, to feel rejuvenated again and be excited about music again.
Yeah, well said. There's only so much you can control when
Mhm.
you're in a band, right?
Yeah.
And don't sell yourself short. I do think you are one of the biggest bands out there, right? I mean, so many people have heard of you. Part of that reason is your debut album, which is coming up on its 20th anniversary, if you can believe that. Dying is your latest fashion. Craig,
Well, yeah,
I know,
is that
It's
already
this
20?
year.
This
Yeah,
year?
yeah.
yeah, in September is what I was just saying. Craig, I know you didn't plan that album, but it's st has stood the test of time as one of the more iconic records in that genre, right? And I'm wondering, are you guys planning any sort of anniversary for the 20th anniversary that's
That's
coming up or
something
anything like
that
that?
like every few years, like the idea kind of gets thrown around a little. For something like that, it's because like obviously Ronnie isn't falling in reverse, and he's legitimately become one of the biggest artists in the
Hmm.
world. So it's like, to try to coordinate it and certain relationships and things like that to be everything work together to make something like that happen. How would we approach it when there is a whole other escape the fate that exists? And I
Well, it's
personally,
difficult because you got this, the current Escape the Fate, which I'm totally down for them to go do something, but it would have to be Ronnie wanting to do something.
right,
In my opinion, it'd have to at least be Ronnie and Robert, because Robert
right.
is OG that's still kicking it. Ronnie's album, he's still out there crushing it. He would have to want to do it and have the time to want to do it. And I'd be at the show showing all my love and support for it. But it is difficult when you're trying to work out the timing of things, people's schedules. I mean, you got me. I'm super down to do 20 years with my original band, Bless the Fall, and those guys want to do something too, and we still can't even figure that out with everybody's schedules.
And
So
for Marin, I support him on that stuff,
yeah, so it's like you could have the whole group and everybody that was involved wanting to do something, and it's still difficult to get it done. So your question about dying is your latest fashion and then wanting to do something, it would have to at least be Robert and Ronnie down to figure it out and do it.
Yeah, and I would love to, and I think it is a staple in the whole, scene and everything, and it has stood the test of time. It went gold, and there's a lot of fans that would love it, and it would be a moment, and then we could go on from there, and everyone can continue on, especially now that, beyond that, as much as that is a staple, I still love doing this, and Craig and I have had, varying levels of success on this iteration of Escape to Fate since then. Like we did just have One for the Money go platinum. It's a platinum single, you know what I mean? So and that's like our fourth album, like 10 years after the fact of that first album. So it's like, you're always moving on to the next thing, but a fan, there's certain music that's just timeless in their life, so they don't have that same schedule. You know what I mean? But we're all down for whatever, man. Whatever just makes it for an exciting event and an exciting moment for people. I'm proud of it. I don't shy away from that. But at the same time, you still work on the next thing.
Right. I think you don't want to be a jukebox just playing all the old stuff, right? You got so many great things that are coming out from you guys. Cool. So just kind of curious. I'm here as a Charlotte, North Carolina reporter. Any particularly fond memories of your times on tour, passing through North Carolina, passing through Charlotte or the Southeast? I know you guys are from the other side of the country, so not sure how what you think of us over here.
Do you have any fun memories,
It's just weird because I did have
Charlotte?
two like they're not exactly like the coolest or anything, but just it just sticks in my mind so hard that I just like I got a phone and switched phone carriers there, and so I had a Charlotte area code for like a while. That's like that
What?
sticks in my brain for some reason. But yeah, I don't know why. And I'm from Las Vegas, but then like my dad, he's a huge car guy, and we grew up as like we used to go all the racetracks, like the dirt ones, the drags, the NASCAR, everything. And so when I had the chance to go to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, when I was out there, I went and I loved it. And seeing all the history and seeing all the stuff, and it just reminded me of my dad. And um, that and the food. The barbecue's different there than the Midwest and Texas, but it's great.
Well, see,
So.
that's my fondest memory of North Carolina. Is back when I first started touring. There's a band that hails from Raleigh called Alisana in North Carolina, and they always raved about Cookout. So my very first time coming through, I tried Cookout, and now for the past 20 years, anytime I roll through, if I see a Cookout, I'm going. Cookout is the best. So that's my fondest memory of North Carolina.
See, I always feel like I can ask anything about music for 20 minutes, and you guys have been asked these questions probably 1,000 times, and you give the same answers. And I feel like the most unique one is always, what did you do in North Carolina? Because what Escape the Fate fan would have known that you had a 704 or a 980 area code at some point from Charlotte, right? That's absolutely insane. And really cool to hear you bring up NASCAR. Literally why I moved to Charlotte. I'm actually originally from Texas. I was actually at the Las Vegas race a couple weeks ago. Shows you how ridiculous of a fan I am. And Cookout is great. So I'm glad to hear you shout that out. Awesome. Well, guys, sure. Do you have anything to say?
Well, thanks for taking the time to chat with us. It's been a good morning.
Just
Yeah,
go listen to the new song. Just keep tuning into all the socials. Everything's just Escape the Fate. Just tune into it all because like as the new songs come along, and we're actually releasing footage and stuff from other new songs that we're playing that aren't released yet. So, just keep checking in on it because, with a band that's been around as long as ours, like any band that has any fan base, you have an expectation of what it's supposed to sound like. You got to get rid of those and just listen to it. And you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's cool, but go check it out. Give it a chance.
absolutely. Well said. Well, Craig and Robert, thanks so much for joining me today and talking, and hope you guys definitely go check them out. If you made it through this far in the interview, you're probably a pretty big fan of these guys. So April 26th, they're here at the Underground here in Charlotte. Check out Escape the Fate and Lacuna Coil and a couple of other cool bands that are on the bill with them. So thanks for joining us, guys.
Got it. See you there.